3 drills for leg drive off the catch. Our first drill is the drive suspension drill. This is a slow motion drill designed to help show you how much pressure you can put on in the rowing stroke. You should feel a lightness under your seat when you are getting a good connection from your feet and your hands. Here's how we do it. We need to have a high resistance for this drill, so I'm going to increase the load by opening the vane up fully. If you're doing this in a rowing boat, you might want to do it with some resistance like a bungee cord under your hull. We've got the maximum possible resistance. The drill is about ensuring that the pressure on your hands, when they're on the handle, remains the same throughout the stroke. Now, your power comes from your feet, at least initially in the rowing stroke. So the pressure here under your feet on the foot stretcher also needs to stay the same throughout the stroke. And whatever pressure you put on your feet has to travel up your legs, up your back, and down your arms to your hands on the handle. So you should feel the same pressure on your feet as on your hand. The drill starts. I'm going to set up my catch position very carefully. Hands away, body over, release the knees and slowly roll up to my catch position. What you should feel is a lightness on your seat. You should feel perhaps that you could take a piece of paper and slide it between you and the seat top. And that's a good indication that you're loading your feet and that you're getting a good pressure on your foot stretcher and on your handle, particularly in the early part of the power phase. Legs only rowing is our next drill. This is an exaggeration drill where we isolate one part of the rowing stroke and just train, in this case, our legs. The drill is designed to help you feel a good connection in the initial part of the rowing stroke and to make sure that when you start straightening your legs in the leg power phase, that you continue to use them until they're fully used up. It's not exactly like the actual rowing stroke, and I'll explain why later. In rowing and sculling, about 70% of our power comes from our legs. So the more skillful we can be at picking up the chain and the flywheel, or if you're in a boat, putting the oar into the water and beginning to lock that blade into the water so that you can start to move the boat. The more skillful we are at doing that, and then initiating our leg drive and making that a very strong accelerated movement, the faster our boats will go. The drill works like this. I'm just going to mime it to begin with, and you will find this useful for the first time you do it. Leave the handle down. Legs only works from the catch until your legs are straight. Here's how to set it up. You're going to straighten your arms from the finish, rock your body forwards, release the knees, and slowly slide up to your full slide catch position. The drill leaves your arms completely straight. You don't bend them at all. The drill leaves your back in this forward-leaning posture. You don't change that at all. For the drill, what you do is go from the catch until your legs are straight, and then you return to the catch. So you're going to be straightening your legs and then bending them to return on the recovery and straightening them. The idea is that you want to get a good leg drive that starts and continues in an accelerating fashion. So you cannot let your legs drift like this. Once the leg drive starts, you want them to get faster as they get straighter. And you may find it helpful just to practice this movement. You notice I'm doing it in ratio. So I'm taking twice as long on the recovery as I am on the power phase. I'm now going to pick up the handle and do the drill. It's quite short. The strokes don't last very long. In order to get better at this drill, there are two things you should do. One is to make sure that when you come all the way up to the catch, that the chain engages quickly with the cogs and moves the flywheel. So you need to have that strength and pressure on your hands and feet so that you don't slip like that, where your feet move, but your hands do not move the same corresponding distance. So that's a very important part of skill in this drill. And the way I believe you can do this is by treating it on a rowing machine as if you were in the boat. So keep your handle low on the recovery and lift it up into the catch. The second thing that's important in this drill is not to swing your back. There is a temptation to do this because, of course, when we're normally rowing, we won't be just rowing with our legs. And for that, try and find the position where your thighs touch your chest and you can actually feel that connection. And that will help you to notice whether or not your back has moved or whether or not you are staying in that forward catch position. So when you set yourself up, arms straight, body over, release the knees, and as you roll forwards, you may feel that your lower ribs or a part of your body touches your thighs. So that's a sensory check that you can use, because if you do move your shoulders, you'll find that you are no longer connected at the catch from your torso to your thighs. So that the movement is perfect. Our third exercise is called quarter slide push. This is the most challenging exercise out of the three. It's going to help you with the very first part of your power phase. It is, in fact, just legs only rowing where you're not actually rowing full slide. As before, I will mime it for you first. So starting from the finish, get your hands away, body over, release your knees, and then slowly roll up into your catch position. You are going to row the first quarter of the leg drive. So you're going to go from full compression to about here. That's about 6 inches on your drive. If you're in a rowing boat on the slide, that's how far your seat would have moved. And then you return to the catch. So it's a very short stroke. And this will help you to learn how to time your leg drive with the moment that your handle is high and your blades are placed under the water, if you're in the boat, or here on the erg, the moment when the chain engages with the cog and begins the power phase going in the opposite direction. Let's try a few. So set yourself up first. Arms, body, release the knees, and then slowly roll forwards. I'm now at full compression. You probably notice that the only part of my leg that is moving is from my knee down to my foot. My thighs aren't moving, my back should not be moving, and my arms are not moving. And we are literally just practicing that very, very first part of the power phase. This is possibly the most challenging drill that you will ever do, particularly if you're doing it in a boat. But it's a very, very good drill to learn how to lift the handle before you push with the legs so that your blades are fully buried under the water before you start your power phase. Our ideal is to have the oars under the water when you're at full slide, full compression. This is an ideal, and very few rowers can do this, but it doesn't stop the rest of us practicing to see if we can do it.